Good morning, YouTube, and welcome back to the farm. Today we got a little package from Lavoy over at jdcrawlers.com. He went and sent me the shims that I needed for preloading the bearings on the axle, and more importantly, he went and got me went through all sorts of gyrations to find a quill for the axle. You may remember from our previous videos, I found the quill, pulled it out of the parts washer, and sure enough, as I looked at it, there were two glaring cracks, and those cracks went all the way through the metal from the inside to the outside, from the top to the bottom. Although it hadn't separated yet, come apart, the crack was there. And of course, I couldn't put it back together that way because that axle bearing keeper that held the axle to the final drive takes a lot of punishment and a lot of beating and, you know, smacking when you're going around, because, you know, there's no suspension on these things. And I envisioned in my head being out working on the pond or bumping stumps to tear them out of the ground or something like that, and smacking on this thing. It was going to break, and with my luck, it was going to break down there in the pasture somewhere, and I would have hell getting it back up here so I can work on it. Much less get a jack underneath it so you can lift it up to work on it. So rather than tempt fate, I went and called Lavoy up and said, Lavoy, here's my situation. It's cracked, and I really want to replace it. I got it yesterday in the mail, and the first thing I did was I took it out and I dropped it in my parts washer. And we're going to clean it up and see what we've got and get it ready to go and put back together, because I really want to get this final drive put back together. So come along with us today as we go and explore this and make sure that we got all the parts together so that we can go and finally reassemble that final drive and get it back on the crawler so I can go and play and have some fun with it. So here we are back at the parts washer, and I got my part here, and I don't see any cracks. Of course, after we go and clean it all up, we may see some. But it looks like the bearing race is still in here. Not sure if somebody tried to take that out yet or not. And it looks like the oil seal is still in there. I'm gonna have to get that out too. And yeah, see what we can do about that, because I want to look at that inside to see if it's got any cracks. Let's figure out how to do that. I have my professional bearing and oil seal puller here, and I'm going to see if I can't get this thing wedged out a little bit. There we go. Things in there pretty tight, and I don't want to put too much pressure on it for fear of cracking something, because we are dealing with a 70-year-old casting. This isn't steel, it's pretty much cast iron. It's coming slowly, whoop, a little bit at a time. It just moved. It just moved. Also don't want to dent things up or scratch it. Take it real easy. Boy, it's coming, but it's coming like a 32nd of an inch or 64th of an inch at a time, but it is moving. Come on. Just a little further. Oh, there we go. Well, we got the bearing race out. Now let's see if I can get this oil seal out. I think I'm going to have the same issue. Ugh. And of course, the oil seal doesn't want to move. And there's not any other way to get underneath it. Yeah, that's not budging. Yeah, that hasn't moved. I might have to do something different. Well, wish me luck. I hope I don't screw this up. Now let's see if we can pry it out. I'm afraid of going too far. Okay.
I just cracked open. Damn it.
I do not want to break this. Well, I just broke it. Snapped one of the ears off. Walk away. Walk away. It's difficult to convey how utterly pissed off I am at myself for snapping this thing off. so sure if I'm ever going to get this thing put back together. I know that's frustration talking, but yeah, that oil seal is not moving. And the more I beat on it, the more I tear it up and break it. I think I'm just going to have to break down and get on the internet and see if I can go find a part. Yeah. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to the internet and go look for a part. Well, I got some good news and I got some bad news. I went and got on farmerjohnsparts.com and went and looked and gave him a call, and sure enough, he had these parts sitting on the shelf. So he took my information and it should be going out UPS today. The bad news about that is it's December 23rd. Due to the Christmas onslaught with online shopping and everything, UPS, USPS, and FedEx are pretty much swamped. So I'll be lucky to get this by the end of the year. You know, it may get here quickly, but I'm not holding my breath. But at least we have a replacement part coming, and this is a replacement part that has no bearing cup and no oil seal in it. So when I get here, I can clean it up, paint it, and actually start putting this final drive back together and get it on the crawler. Because, you know, that's the whole goal here. So anyway, thanks for hanging out with me for a rather frustrating morning on the farm. I get to sit on my hands and wait on parts again. Come back and see us.